Hi, friends. Happy Monday. Well, actually, it's a marvelous Monday. I hope you all are enjoying your day so far. Today, I'm going to be working with Heartfelt Hellos, which is a free stamp set with 6 sentiments. There's a Father's Day, or at least Dad, you're the best. Happy Mother's Day. There's Easter. Hello, love, which can be done for February, for Valentine's, and enjoy your day. So, a great variety of sentiments that are for the next 6 months, 7 months. Okay, or 6 months. So, clear through June for Father's Day. This beautiful DSP designer series paper is called Flight Airy. It's 12 by 12 paper. And I showed you some of this when I was making the journal for my granddaughter for Christmas. And as you can see, I've dug into this one, but the papers are simply stunning. This one, I fussy cut some of the birds out, but you can see how lovely it is. Um, this one here was one of my favorites. Really pretty. This one, which has a great pattern on the back if you want to do neutral colors. And I'm going to make a Father's Day card with that today. And there's this one, so pretty. Great watercolor background. And there's this one with a pretty little floral background as well. And this one, just really, really pretty papers. I've used up so much of this one, I only have a portion of a sheet left, but we're going to play with some of this today. But for starters, I just wanted to talk to you about this join offer that Stampin' Up! Has right now, which is the Glass Mat Studio. So this Glass Mat Studio has a retail value of $60. And Stampin' Up! Is allowing you to add this to your kit. So you get $125 worth of product and this Glass Mat Studio, which includes this. And you remember when I was doing my watercoloring, and also Stampin' Spots fit in these little wells perfectly, or you can use them for watercoloring. And then this is their chamois, and it's just a really nice chamois. I love how easy it is to use. You can get your finger in there and you can get the grooves clean. But the thing about this Glass Studio, I have used it exclusively since I got it. One of the perks of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is that you get to have access to all these goodies ahead of time. So they allow us to purchase for a limited time, making sure there's still plenty of product left for the demonstrators that are going to sign up. But this glass mat I was able to get a month ago, and I've just loved it just because it's so easy to use. It's got all my measuring that I need, but it doesn't require that I have to keep changing out the paper. So I can get whatever ink I need to on it and I can wipe it off. So this right here is alcohol blends. And I don't know about you, but alcohol blends are permanent, as you know. But they allow you, you can just wipe off the alcohol blend immediately. I even tried a little Sharpie. I tried it in the corner just to make sure. I made a little dark spot. And again, it just came right off. And these I'm going to leave here for a little while, but they're going to come off as well. They're little reminders for me on what we're going to work with. So this is the Glass Mat Studio right here. These three things, the glass mat, which it's got 13 by 13 inch measurements on it, but it's about 17, just shy of 17 inches by about 14 inches. So it's really nice size, and I've loved it for all my crafting. Okay, So in regards to the Heartfelt Hellos, you can find the Heartfelt Hello on page 10 of Celebrations, and you can see that it pairs really nicely with this trusty toolbox set as well. But today we're going to put it with the beautiful Flight Airy, which is on page 6 of your Celebration catalog. So the first card I'm going to do is a Father's Day card, and so I need this Dad, You're the Best sentiment. So when you get your rubber mounted stamps, you're going to get the rubber stamps and you're going to get your little stickers at the same time. So what I tend to do is I tend to pair them up so that they're opposite. I'm going to get this Dad stamp out, and then I'm going to get this Dad sticker. So I'm going to pull the whole thing off, which they don't normally show you how to do that. And I'm going to just adhere it to one of my glass blocks, okay? And then this backing is supposed to be adhered to the rubber stamp. So I'm going to take the backing off. I showed this to you last week, but I wanted to show you again because it's just such an easy way to get your rubber stamps and your stickers lined up. Okay, so now I've got my sticker lined up, or it's on my little block, and then I can just go down and it's attached. Okay, so it's just a perfect way to get whatever stamp set you have and get it perfectly lined up with a sticker. It's just great. Okay, so I'm using the Designer Series paper. Let's see. Let me grab it. So when I have a 12 by 12 sheet, and it depends on what you're doing, if I'm using them completely for a background, I usually cut them into 4-inch by 6-inch pieces, and then I can get 6 cards out of it. But sometimes I use a little bit less. And so I used this set or this piece, and I'm using both sides because it's got this really nice neutral color on the back side. Okay, so I'm starting with the thick basic white cardstock, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4, and then folded over. Then I'm going to get my bone folder. I'm going to braze it down, and I love brazing on this because this is great. Oh, I was going to mention to you, I did a whole bunch of cutting on this with an X-Acto blade. I mean, I was cutting through cardboard on this, and there is not a scratch to be had on anywhere on this, and I was really going to town with it. So there is a lot of durability to this. This is, let me just make sure I get this information correct. Safety temper, heavy duty safety tempered glass. So I don't know about you, but I find that like windshields get scratched really easily. But this thing, I used it and used it and used it over the weekend. I'll show you on Friday what I was doing with it. But making boxes with cardboard, with paper pumpkin boxes. But anyway, so this really is very, very durable. Okay, so one of the pretty colors in this is this balmy blue, and we've got the brown, and I'm going to use the balmy blue for my sentiment. So I've got some scraps. And I'm going to use Dad, You're the Best. And I'm going to use this Heartfelt Hexagon. And I'm going to punch it out. Now, I'm not going to have it so that it fits all the way in there, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, so I took some of this DSP and I fussy cut around some of the birds, And then I'm going to glue it onto another piece of the 4 by 5 1/4 designer series paper. Now I'm not putting glue on everything, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. Then I'm going to glue the whole thing onto my card base. I'm just working with DSP and sentiments, that's it. Not doing any other stamping other than that. Just makes for really easy cards that anybody can do, and you don't have to be using a whole bunch of tools, just my scissors and my paper. Okay, so I'm leaving these birds sticking up, and what I want next is some of my glue dots or my dimensionals. And as you recall, I'm always cutting away the edges so I can use them. For one, they're smaller, but it also uses up all of my dimensionals, and so I like to do that. So I'm going to put some of these dimensionals on these leaves, the bird's body, this other leaf, so that it pops up. And it adds a little extra to my card. I'm not going to lay it down just yet because I want to put my sentiment in here as well. And I'm going to put my sentiment, and I'm going to cut off a portion of it because you don't have to use the whole thing. I didn't want to take away from my card and add so much. I just wanted it to be just a little bit here down at the bottom. It is -2 today, and it's supposed to get down even colder, and the wind chill is 23. It was -7 when I got up this morning. My poor little puppy, he has been having a really hard time walking on this really cold snow. So when it gets down like this, when it was in the 30s and there was snow and ice, he did fine. Once in a while, I'd see him limp, and I wasn't sure what it was. I thought maybe it was arthritis. I wasn't sure. But once I realized what it was, I got a little bit too much glue on this. I don't need it all. Cut off the remaining that I don't need. Got glue, get my little chamois, clean it off so it doesn't make my workstation all sticky, and cut off my scissors as well. Okay. Not a little crooked. There we go. Super easy card. Just took me a few minutes. Granted, I did the fussy cutting before I got online. And then I have another little bird here that I'm just going to put on the inside, just to kind of do something on the inside. Super cute, super easy. That nice? So Dad, you're the best. Great Father's Day card. I can still use this really pretty designer series paper, but because it's just a few birds and I'm putting it against the brown background, it's not feminine. So it ends up being a really nice Father's Day card. Okay. So now we've got some really pretty designer series paper. I skinned the Flight Airy, and I'm going to just use one of these. Now, if this is too much for you, you can put a little bit of a contrast color. So some of these sheets, let's get these out again. So you can see all these pretty sheets with all these flowers and everything. But if you turn around to the other side, the other side has some contrasting or colors that complement the other side. And so they're neutral. They're definitely not quite as busy. And so if this is too busy for you, you can put just a little piece of another um, color just to kind of tone it down a little bit. So you can see I can still get a really pretty sentiment in here, but I like this so much. This is going to be my Mother's Day card. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this on. And we use the Heartfelt Hexagons punch first. This time, I want to use the handmade tag, which is a real pretty punch. So let's get some cardstock. This is just the basic white. I need to take out this stamp, and so we're going to do that one more time. So here's the stamp. I'm taking the label all the way off the paper. I'm adhering it to my clear block. I take the backing off of the rubber stamp, and then I take the backing off the sticker. And then you line up your sticker, and it's perfectly in place. So for this one, I think I want to use fresh freesia for my sentiment for Mother's Day. Okay, give myself plenty of room. Then I want to make sure that my sentiment is lined up inside the punch. And I'm using the little details. And then I am just going to pop this up using dimensionals. Having this right in the middle is fine. And then I have a little bit of ribbon that is from the last mini catalog. It's just so pretty, this really light blue. It's sparkly, so it is retired, but so pretty. I wanted to use just a little bow. Just going to add a little bow down here at the bottom. And I'm going to adhere it with some glue dots. As a reminder, whenever I'm adhering a bow, I use 2 glue dots, and you can use more if you need to, but I do it on both sides so that it stabilizes it and helps it stay. So super easy card. Now you don't have to do them straight up. You can do them going sideways as well. So we're going to do one going the other way. Which should I do? Should I do this pretty pattern paper or more of this? So pretty. I really love these birds and the little flowers. They just look like spring petals. So we have a really cute Easter sentiment as well in here. So let's add that. So we've got thinking of you this Easter. Do you have any plans for Easter? We so far don't have any plans. It feels like it's too far out there just yet. All right. And I think I'll use this. Let me see if this scrap is enough. This is the lasting label. And yes, it fits my other scrap. Okay, so again, I'm going to make sure that my sentiment lines up inside of my punch. And you do that upside down. So you can see this is the punch. And I'm going to put it upside down and then center it inside of the punch, making sure it's right within it. So for this one, I'll just do a little band of color. And I'll use tearing tape. So I want to add my ribbon before I add my paper to my card. So when I'm doing ribbon and I just want a band of color, and that this is another nice thing about this mat is I can just add it to the mat, no problem. And then you just pull it up, fold it back, it stays really nicely. Okay, now we can glue it to our card front. Let me just raise this real quick so that it's lined up and then it'll be better. So if you want to join my team, one of the perks that my team gets is obviously they get to hear firsthand when I've got my next class, but I also send them my class PDF for free. So that means that if they end up buying the bundle or suite that I am using for my class, then they get access to the PDF for free. And my current class is the perennial lavender, and this is what it looks like. So I send out the PDF after my class is done, and I'll send it out to all my team members. And it's 4 pages of colors with instructions on the materials and the bundles that you'll need, and then instructions on how to put it together. So you can see that it's really thorough instructions. I even do this with my bags, my gift boxes, whatever it is that I'm doing for that class. I give that to my class or to my team for free. We also meet on a monthly basis via online because now I live in Minnesota, but we do try to challenge each other. I give them rewards for their sales that they can use towards credit, and also just lots of support. Whatever questions they have, I'm here to help them. So these are the 3 really easy cards that we made today with this beautiful Flight Airy DSP and this really great little stamp set, Heartfelt Hellos. So just great all around. Dad, Mother's Day, Easter, Valentine's, just about anything that you need. So be sure to pick it up. And remember, it's free with a $50 purchase, and this Flight Airy DSP is free with a $50 purchase. Well, I hope you have a fabulous Monday evening. Thank you for joining me. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, please like and share. And we're going to check and see if we can get this alcohol ink off after it's been there for 30 minutes. And looks like it takes a little bit of scrubbing, but it definitely is coming off. I'm going to have to scrub this off a little bit, but it is coming off. And so it does have a way for you to make notes. So if you're trying to make a shopping list, it'll be there for longer, but you can come back and scrub it off later. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.